Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri, and is the world's first single barrel only liquor store. This business is owned and operated by Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnot. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution list. That way you'll know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and what barrel picks they have in the works. We are also sponsored by The Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers a fully customizable carrying case that allows you to take your favorite distilled spirits or cocktail ingredients with you. Whether you're looking for yourself, a customized gift, or logo items for your business or event, The Bar to Go can help. Check them out at thebar2go.com. Use the number 2 when you type out The Bar to Go. Did you know Neely Family Distillery now ships its popular distilled spirits directly to you? To order, simply call 859-394-3258. Tell them the ABV Network sent you. And now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we get an update on American single malts from Lenny Eckstein. My name is McNew. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Steve Akeley, along with our special guests, Lenny Eckstein and Evan Van Spoik.
Hey, gang, what's up?
Hey, guys.
Yo. So yes, we've got one of the industry experts here, a guy that's really predominantly driving all of this. I know there's a few underlings that are involved in the American single malt movement, but Lenny's clearly the guy. We'll get to him after the break. For right now, I want to talk about something controversial Lenny said, and it's reverberated through the ABV network community, and that is the fact that sandwiches are lowbrow. That
forgot about that.
Yeah, anybody who, if you'd have a sandwich, that is a lowbrow treat. I mean, do you not have a job? Like if you're sitting next to Lenny in the lunchroom and you're working at a corporate job and you're next to him and you're like, what do you got, Lenny? And he's got some sort of thing, I don't know, some yogurt parfait or something. And you're like, yes. What do you have? And I got a sandwich. You'd be like, oh, stink eye. Is a sandwich, in fact, a lowbrow meal? Is that something we should be ashamed of when we're eating a sandwich?
Absolutely not.
Wait, but real quick, a qualifier, and I know a sandwich is a broad umbrella. There's grades of sandwiches. Like, I mean, there's some fine sandwiches out there.
You just blanket statement sandwiches
I know.
on one show, and now you want to come back to another one. You want to say face.
But this is out of context. On that one show, we were talking about the sandwiches that are like made at home. If I recall correctly. Well,
sure. I can make a sandwich at home that's good.
Yeah. Can you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like what?
Yeah. Well, for you, it's a little bit different with you. I mean, panini. I got an awesome panini press, and I could make you something good on the panini that even you would like. As a vegan, I could make something and the panini really. The panini is a game changer on the sandwich. For some reason, you crush that down and add heat to it. I don't know what happens, but everything infuses kind of inside the bread. I don't know. Again, I don't know the science of it, but it's fantastic.
You're talking about an adult hot pocket?
Kind of, a little bit, almost like that. I mean, it's a panini, but
it's a melt.
If that helps you, yes.
Yeah. Well, I do think if you put the effort in and go above the standard, like grocery aisle sliced turkey and shredded cheese that apparently Becky uses, and maybe mayo.
Don't use shredded cheese on a sandwich. She's wrong.
Whatever.
I'll agree. It should be sliced cheese.
Okay, sliced whatever. It's still
sliced cheese on the sandwich.
That's something. That's for kids. Now, if you step it up. I mean,
what about all the hardworking Americans who are out there, doing all these tough jobs? They got to bring a lunch box to work. There's going to be probably a sandwich in there.
If it's peanut butter and jelly or something like that, that's kids' food. That's it. I mean, there's.
Well, yes, it was a turkey sandwich. You just.
What's wrong with liking kid food? What is wrong with that? What's wrong with liking kid food?
They're just small humans.
Yeah, no, I would rank them lower than small humans. I have them. I know.
It doesn't touch it. It's fine. I'm not going to eat a sandwich or a chicken nugget after a kid, but I still want one.
Lenny, the problem is this falls apart. because you can make the same complaint about any type of food. If you don't put effort in and you just slap something together, I can make anything trash.
Yes, I agree. I mean, that doesn't disqualify the statement. I think, like, to McNew's point, do not eat chicken McNuggets as an adult. Get proper chicken tenders or something more elevated than that even. Like, there's a certain low level.
But why does it have to be elevated? Sometimes you just want something quick and comforting. Like, what? Not everything has to be.
Yeah. It's like, I like movies that make you think and things like that. But I haven't seen it yet, but when I can get it on streaming, I'm going to watch that Cocaine Bear. Now, again, there's no depth there. It's just funny, stupid humor. But I want to see that one.
The one-liners movie are so good. I freaking love Cocaine Bear. It was good.
Yeah, but Cocaine Bear, if it was a sandwich, might be like a French dip, which is very acceptable. You know what I mean? Like, there's...
All right, here's the thing. Lenny, sandwiches are for everybody. You can have them all across the spectrum. You can make bad sandwiches. You can make good ones. You can dress them up. You can dress them down. They are one of the most versatile types of foods that you can do. You can put all different types of ingredients in them. You can have them at a fancy restaurant. You can get them from a fast food, or you can get them from your guy selling sandwiches on the street corner. And you know what? That sandwich could be one of the best sandwiches you have in a long time. It all depends on what they're putting into it. So a sandwich in itself is fantastic because it can go so many different places.
Agree to disagree.
Well, how do you feel about tacos? You can have some great elevated tacos, right? You can also have some street tacos that come out of this truck that you might get tetanus from, but it's going to be like the best taco you ever had.
I don't think the qualifier is like if it was prepared at a Michelin star restaurant or a food truck or a street vendor. It's just the basicness of the basic ass homemade sandwich with like a slice of meat, a slice of cheese, and bread. That's where you lose me.
Tacos, like, you're not going to do the white people tacos, like where we're like, oh, we got like some old Ortega from the grocery store. Like, nobody likes it.
That's my exact point. That's it.
I get your point.
Do you also hate salads?
I mean, I hate things that lack effort, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's a salad that has effort, but I don't want the bullshit salad. There's plenty of bullshit salads out there.
Huh. I don't understand why it has to be lowbrow, though. Maybe you.
I think
because look at Lenny's high class. Okay, he's high class.
Yeah, super high rolling. I think there's something about like bologna. Those basic ass things you put that smell weird,
right?
That funky ham.
Yeah, okay, so I think it's fine to be like, hey, these are my preferences. I don't like bologna. I don't like things super processed. And that's fine. You don't have to put those things on your sandwich. But your sandwich doesn't have to be a work of art every time you want a damn sandwich.
Oh no, maybe it does.
If I was sitting next to a person that's eating a turkey sandwich, I wouldn't be like, things aren't going too well in his life these days, I guess. I would just be like, oh, he's eating a sandwich. Yeah, well, that's cool. But Lenny would be judging that person and be like, oh, man, I bet you he's struggling. Is he unemployed?
What do you think when you are at let's say you're at Bourbon's Bistro and somebody walks up and orders a vodka soda. Do you think that's a great order? Good job on that one.
No, but I think they've ordered the wrong thing in the wrong place. I don't think they're lowbrow. I don't think that it's an indicator of their social economic status in the world, which you do seem to think that is with some.
I know. Well, I think my definition of lowbrow might be different. I'm not like shunning them for their net worth. I'm using it as more of a dig of like, oh, you could do better.
You could do better. Okay.
So like anytime someone orders a domestic light beer.
Yeah, that's iffy because they have their place. Yeah,
but you can do better.
You could do better, but you can always do better. Things don't have to be the best. But for example, like Coors Banquet beer is a fine beer, even though it's domestic mega schwill.
Right. I think those have their place. People do like to blast them, but I don't know, cutting the grass sometimes. That's an easy drinking thing.
Yeah, if you're going to take a day like out kayaking, like being out in nature, and like you have to pack a lunch, like you're not putting like a sandwich in it, what are you taking?
I mean, you know the answer and you don't want to hear
It's
it.
fish. I don't understand how that's better than a sandwich. Because I think
Yeah,
that is
tin-
so low
Tins
class.
of fish. How is that highbrow?
I don't understand how it's better. I can't wrap my head around it.
I will next time I see you, McNew. I'll bring you some phenomenal tinned fish, and you'll see my way.
Okay.
You'll understand.
Just
Just a jar of pickled herring.
No,
Oh,
it
yeah.
comes in tin, not glassed.
Then you
definitely
peel
not
it
pickled
back
herring.
like a zipper or something. It's so bizarre to me.
Look
But-
up. There's one brand that's really good called Jose Gourmet.
okay.
I would recommend
Check
that you-
those. I do have a little bit of insight there because Bronner is opening up his place. It's already open on Whiskey Row for Buzzard's Roost, and they don't have a kitchen or anything like that, but they're serving these upscale tin meats and stuff like that. Apparently, there's this whole company or group of companies that makes this upscale stuff that's available in tins. That is, when you're drinking, it's nice to have something to eat, even if you don't have a
Why
kitchen.
wouldn't they just do like a charcuterie board or something?
They want it to be higher than that even. So yeah, man.
Bronner
Bronner claims this stuff. If you try it, it's amazing. I want to try because we're getting ready to open the speakeasy, and I thought maybe that works over there too. He's supposed to help me out with that.
So my mindset, I'm like, I feel like if you're eating something out of a can, you're not doing well. Like that's where my mind goes.
One would think.
You
One
need
would
20
think
bucks.
that-
Like I have questions if you're eating things out of a can.
Huh.
If you're spreading it out on a board, I'm like,
All
oh,
right,
you're-
for me, my one. If you're an adult and you're eating ramen noodles, I think you're struggling. So Lenny's is a sandwich. McNew's is things out of a tin. Mine is ramen noodles as a college student. Fine, you are struggling. I get that, but an adult doing that, okay. Do you have one of these, Evan? Do you have something that if you see someone or someone come in and say, I had this for dinner last night, would you be like, oh, struggle bus time, huh?
I don't have a food off the top of my head. What
Uh-huh.
comes to mind is like Natty Light.
Uh-huh.
oh yeah. If you're drinking that out of college, you're
Unless
probably
If you're
that
no longer
person-
in college and drinking natural light,
Yeah.
or unless that person has uncle in front of their name, like Uncle Bob. Oh, your Uncle Bob can drink Natty Light. That flies. Everyone has that uncle, right? I mean, we've all got them where they drink
Mine's
that
Uncle
shitty
Mike.
beer they always drank.
That's just normal for him. Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't ask questions.
Right. We all have one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. On that note, it is time to drink. What is everyone drinking? Let's start with Lenny Eckstein because he looks very prepared. What do you got there, Lenny?
I wasn't prepared actually. I still have plastic seal on my bottle, but I'm almost there. You can wait for me, or you can.
We want us to insert some music during
Okay,
post production.
here we go.
All right.
So I'm about to pop the top off a bottle of Deer Hammer American Single Malt. This one is a single barrel pick from the vault at the Stanley Hotel.
Oh, nice.
I actually have to write some tasting notes on this one.
Name
so,
dropping. He's name
yeah.
dropping. Yeah.
Ready?
That's very good.
Holy shit. Good one.
Loud.
well done.
I like how when he couldn't do a cork pop, it was the fault of the altitude that he's at.
Altitude.
But now that's no longer a factor. I don't. Did they lower Buna? Is that what?
I'm more scrutinous as to the bottles I pop. There's
Okay.
more of a method to it. They have to be full, basically.
Oh,
Kind of the Heidi method.
the Heidi method.
Mm.
Okay, yeah. You find those in a dumpster after the shows are over. He just throws them away. Then
We don't need them anymore.
no use for them. All right, Evan, you're next. What do you got?
All right, I've got from Wood Hat some Old Blue.
Okay. Oh, that was just
whack-
poor form.
That-
Poor
Yeah,
form.
whack the desk afterwards.
I like
Yeah.
the reverberation.
Yeah, there was reverberation, which was nice. Not enough to take the lead, though. Lenny still has the lead. McNew, you're next.
I have some Elijah Craig.
No, hardly anything there. Hardly anything. I've got Colonel H. Taylor small batch. Let's see what we got here. Not much there. Lenny wins this one easily. So, as probably predicted when you heard that cork pop he had there. So, cheers, gang.
Cheers.
All right, we'll take a quick break. And then when we come back, we're going to be talking about single malts. We have the expert in the house, Mr. Lenny Eckstein. We'll do that in just a few. Let's talk about the people who make these shows happen. First up is the ABV Barrel Shop. It is the most unique shopping experience in the world of bourbon, as the ABV Barrel Shop only sells single barrels. Owners Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnot select. With over 100 distilleries on board to sell us barrels, we are home to the most unique and diverse barrel pick selections in the bourbon world. By signing up for our email, you will always know what we have in stock. In addition to the single barrels, we'll have a gift shop featuring ABV Barrel Shop as well as ABV Network merchandise. We are partnering with vendors like Art Eatables and Old Man Bay Signs to bring you unique items you can't find anywhere else. We will also have a 24-seat classroom where we are offering educational and fun classes like Breakfast and Bourbon, a series where we pair donuts and bourbon, customer barrel picks, and opportunities to learn from master distillers and other bourbon dignitaries. Best of all, we feature a tasting bar where you can try before you buy. All of this is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. If you are in the St. Louis area, please stop by to say hi. If you're traveling in from outside the area, please take advantage of our hotel rates with the Drury Inn and Pear Tree Inn, less than a mile from our shop. This can be done via the links in our Visit St. Louis section on our website. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to plan your trip. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. Hi, this is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network. We're sponsored by the Stave and Thief Society. This is where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge a bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my Executive Bourbon Steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification program available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Okay, let's talk about the Neely Family Distillery. In 2018, I met Royce Neely at an industry event. He started appearing on our shows, and we became friends during my frequent trips to Kentucky. Today, he is amongst the leaders of young distillers leaving their mark on the bourbon industry. A visit to Neely Family Distillery yields insight on their unique family history, why their products are special, and gives you the opportunity to taste their whiskey, moonshine, and creams. Check them out at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com or visit them in Sparta, Kentucky.
This is Kathy Cole. You're listening to the Bourbon Daily.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we're talking American single malts with Lenny Eckstein.
Yes, we are. So, Lenny, first of all, we know that it's been going through a process to get approved. Where are we at in that? Are we at the end of they were taking like public comments and stuff like that? Are we at the end of that? How close are we to having this become a law now?
Well, as far as I understand, there's no official timeline where there's a deadline date that a decision is going to be announced or a ruling. But, you know, it's good timing that you're asking about this because it was just a few days ago. The head of our American Single Malt Whiskey Commission, Steve Hawley, just issued an update to everyone within the commission. And basically, there's no news from the TTB yet, but his take is that the group is ready for an imminent ruling. So that's kind of nice. Some things that were cited that were not necessarily tended to yet and still seem to be a little ambiguous. There's no minimum age requirement, as you guys might be aware, but that's still a point that we're all kind of scratching heads on and seeing where it goes. Personally, I'm okay with that. You know, it is what it is. The weird word, adulteration of it, meaning no harmless or potentially there could be the addition of harmless flavors or colors, caramel coloring, for example.
That's allowed, or none of that, right?
Well, as of now, it's not. They haven't made a.
They haven't addressed it. It
hasn't been stated that it will not be allowed.
Okay. So, hopefully, it is stated in there. That would be bad.
Yeah, we'll see. And then there's another one that seems to be a little kind of up in the air, and that is a requirement for on-site mashing and fermentation, and that's one I'd like to see happen. So, some ongoing vagueness because it hasn't been put out there. We'll see where it goes.
The one thing that is interesting, and we keep hearing it's going to be a huge trend because of the fact you can do used cooperage. And I know that in the past you haven't necessarily been in favor of that. And we've seen some of the big companies come out, like Yellowstone has one, Beam, Jack Daniels, and they're all coming out with new cooperage for there. So do you think ultimately, it's not going to really solve anything, and everyone's going to end up using new cooperage anyway for their single malts. Or are we going to start seeing more going with a used cooperage?
Well, at Deer Hammer, we're going to start splitting the difference. And while I'm a huge fan of new cooperage, I like the flavor profile we get at 4 to 5 years in used. But from where I'm sitting, my concern isn't so much reusing our barrels, because the cost isn't that prohibitive to use new oak in any product. I'm concerned that there is going to be an issue, and I don't know that it's like just people worrying for no good reason. I don't know how we can sustain. I mean, I don't know about forestry all that much, but I don't know how we can sustain all this oak use, and I wonder if we're ever going to see a pinch. And if we do, I'm definitely committed to used oak at that point.
Yeah. Okay.
Is any oak cooperage specified?
As in, it could be Mizunara oak as opposed to American white oak?
Yes, and you mentioned no age statement is required. So does that mean you could release it unaged?
Yeah, so here's my understandings. There is no specification that it has to be new American oak or used American oak for that matter. So it could be French, Hungarian, Mizunara, whatever. It's just oak, and I believe it'll say oak container. And furthermore, on the maturation, I think like every other whiskey, bourbon included, for a standard release, it doesn't. It can simply go into an oak container and doesn't require it, but although it cannot be unaged like a corn whiskey could be.
Okay.
Yeah. Which I don't. I guess I don't care about a minimum age requirement. Some folks seemed really into that. My take is if it tastes great at 1 year, cool. I mean, our stuff, we're closing in on minimum 4 year for all our American single malt, which I'm pretty happy about. But I think what's exciting is that it's a developing category. Jim Beam just announced that theirs is coming out officially, as far as I know.
Right. Yep.
And I think a lot of folks are still, hold in such high regard, as do I, the category of bourbon and the flavor profile of bourbon, and why I do hold that in high regard. I've said it before. There's a lot of people who drink Scotch, and that is 100% malted barley, and there's a lot of people who enjoy that flavor profile. So to see what is coming out of all the distilleries that are making now, including Jim Beam, which is awesome, I think it's pretty cool. I think you're going to have a big audience.
So what's in there right now is, I looked it up real quick. It's matured in oak casks of a capacity not exceeding 700 liters. So again, it has to be oak, but it doesn't necessarily have to be white oak. It could be Mizunara or any of the other ones too. So, but it does have to be aged. But there you go.
So we're all. I think everyone who's making American single malt is waiting for it for a lot of reasons, but it'll be a nice boost to the PR of the category, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I think it'll be good. McNew, any questions about this? I mean, you've got one of the key experts here, a guy really driving all this. He wrote all those rules.
Yep.
Basically.
So is wine barrel finished an option? Because I really just like wine barrel finish.
Yeah.
So I like it with bourbon.
Go.
I think it's going to be more interesting with an American malt. Is that something that you're looking into?
Yeah, 100%. I think it's widely accepted that, looking at Scottish tradition, so much of their stuff was sherry and port finished. And I think a lot of people are getting wise to some unique wine finish. McNew, to your point, in bourbon, like it's pretty cool what the folks at Penelope did with a rosé finish, like that. I think there's a lot of room for experimentation. And I think, to your point, a malted barley based whiskey plays really well in some of those, ex wine barrels.
Yeah,
So
I just
Very cool.
like interesting flavor profiles because, I obviously love bourbon, but I'm like, when you get new different flavors in there, because I like wine too. I'm like, when those can meld together nicely, I think that's just wonderful.
I love it. I mean, personally, my practice, in fact, I just got, we gave 6 of our ex bourbon barrels to a winery on the west slope of Colorado who does some really nice work. They gave us back those barrels, freshly harvested, no sulfur added. And I dumped out that wine, and it kind of bummed me out because I didn't realize how much wine was in there. I should have probably dumped it into a glass or a jug or But no, it dumped all down the street. But I like to empty the barrels. I don't want to add wine per se to the whiskey. I want the whiskey to have to find the wine in the wood.
Right.
So, but that's, kind of an aside to what you were saying. I do think wine barrel finishes are phenomenal. I think a lot of people are going to do them. And even in just the 3 to 4 weeks that I've had some American single malt sitting in some of these wine barrels that I dumped down the street, definitely a bit of an impact coming on. It's really nice.
Yeah, very cool. Well, it's going to be, again, something to watch, and hopefully we're going to see really this category grow and a lot of more distilleries getting on board. So I think it's a pretty cool thing. And experimentation, exploration, trying different things is good for the industry, and it's good for us as consumers. So I'm in favor of this. So there you go. We'll wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. Evan, we're going to start with you. Where can people find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Facebook or on Instagram, Wit Wisdom Whiskey.
All right, Lenny.
You can find me and the rest of Deerhammer on social media at Deerhammer, on the web at deerhammer.com, where you can also order all of our bottles shipped straight to your door. And I would say if you find yourself in Colorado, in addition to visiting us in Buena Vista, head up to Estes Park and hit the Stanley Hotel and grab a bottle of this single barrel. Might be my favorite barrel we've ever produced.
Whoa.
I mean, that changes every year, but this year.
Right now it's the favorite. All right, McNew, how about you?
I am on Instagram at McNew, ABV.
For me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got a company website. That thing's abvnetwork.com. That's when you got to check out. Everything that we do is out there. Previous shows, blogs, so much more, abvnetwork.com. And hey, if you get a chance, you're in St. Louis, come by and see us. We're at the ABV Barrel Shop, just recently featured on our local news. That was pretty cool. So check us out, abvbarrelshop.com. McNew, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I would like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review that includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. And if you like what we're doing, we ask that you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV Network.
Great job today, gang. Finance, we're going to have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Peace. Before we finish the show, let's talk about some great companies that support the ABV network. First up is Moonshine Still Pro. Moonshine Still Pro has a full line of products to help the home distiller. Whether you want to experiment on the stove in your kitchen or you're looking for a bigger setup in your backyard, owner Russell Creed and his team can help. They have multiple still offerings, accessories, and even grain from their partners at Goldstone Mill to assist you in making whiskey on par with your favorite distillery. They can also help you with some fabricated parts you probably can't make yourself if you are attempting a DIY still project. Learn more or order your still or parts at moonshinestillpro.com. Last but not least is the ABV Barrel Shop. While we don't get to play in the allocated bourbon game because we aren't selling the other products you have to do to get those, we do have access via our friendships in the bourbon industry to some really cool stuff. Have you ever seen your favorite craft distiller selling some really cool limited offerings only in their gift shop? I'm talking things like the Hazmat offering Distillery 291 did for their 10th anniversary, or Neely Family Distillery's Papaw's birthday barrel. They don't have enough of it to send it out to distributors, so they only sell it via their gift shop. Well, companies like Distillery 291 and Neely Family Distillery have agreed to sell us 2 or 3 cases of these offerings moving forward, meaning our store will have the access to some of the rarest whiskeys in the world. Way more difficult to come by than the allocated bourbon offerings with a national release. Yes, they will be extremely tough to come by, but if you're a customer of our store, you'll have a chance to get them. Get signed up for our email or text list over at abvbarrelshop.com so you don't miss out.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.